this is exciting and terrifying, and I need to be on solid ground. All right, so how do I begin to honor Quentin Tarantino? I've never not known who Quentin Tarantino is. My parents used to jokingly call each other Honey Bunny, and I'd stare at the cover of the VHS copy of Pulp Fiction at 49er Video, demanding to know exactly how old I had to be to see it. If I began to list his accolades, it would take all night, and it would not really articulate why his movies are nouns. As in, when people say in hushed tones, "It's the new Tarantino." Just his name is synonymous with great American cinema. He is the reason I'm not sad I missed the 1970s. Quentin Tarantino makes movies as if movies could save the world. Movies can kill Hitler, free slaves, and give Sharon Tate one more summer. But even more than the plots of his films, he makes movies like movies themselves matter. Like they are both high art, which they are, and that they are populist art, which they are. They're speaking the most profound truths to the biggest crowds with the bravado that comes with the confidence that collectively everyone will be changed for the better by the experience. His movies are for everyone, the best, biggest, brightest, deepest part of everyone. Tarantino movies have their own rhythm and their own music. He's like a playwright or a poet. That is how much he cares about words. And yet, it is not at odds with his virtuosic visuals. He's one of the ones we all measure ourselves against because he uses every part of the medium like the master he is. The images, the actors, the words, the costumes, the movement, the quiet, the din, the stillness, the music, all of it, like he's actually become cinema, and also he's in love with it, which I think he is. Over my years of making movies, I would occasionally come across people who had worked with him. A location scout who had worked on Hateful Eight, my producer Amy Pascal who had worked with him on Django, David Heyman who produced his newest masterpiece, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I would always ask about how he does it. What does his scripts look like? Perfect, I was told. It's like the best novel you've ever read, but somehow it's a film. How does he show his dailies? Does everyone really gather and watch them together? The work from the previous day? Do people really check their cell phones with a PA before going on the set? Does he really write all of his scripts longhand? This past year, Quentin Tarantino and I both got to make movies for Tony Vinciquerra at Columbia Pictures, and I got some kind of a contact high just knowing that we'd have the same logos. I felt a little better and a little braver and a little bolder knowing that the studio executives were shuffling back and forth between my movie and his movie. Tom Rothman would come and sit in my editing room and I'd ask him, what was Quentin doing? What was Quentin thinking or changing or cutting or adding? I shot my movie on film in part because I knew that Quentin Tarantino was shooting his movie on film. The very first time I met Quentin Tarantino, he explained a sequence of a film I had been in back to me. I was totally starstruck, but he did what I suspect he does all the time. He just started talking shop with me. The film he was describing was Greenberg, and he explained why he loved a specific shot and moment, and he set the whole thing up from memory. He recreated every line, every look, every camera movement for me. It was like how people say Bobby Fischer could remember every move in a chess game. He could reconstruct the board exactly how it had been when a critical decision was made, even years and years later. That's what it was like to listen to Quentin Tarantino talk about a film. He'd probably only seen it once, and yet he described it as if he had made it himself. Maybe that's partly where his power comes from as a filmmaker, that he loves movies so much that he takes them in as if he had created them. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood left me absolutely euphoric. I exited the theater walking on air. He makes me excited to make movies. His talent and skill are so staggering, and yet they don't make you not want to try yourself. He's the man who launched 1,000 filmmakers. I think that this points to an inherent joy and generosity in his movies. He's the film version of the story of how every person who watched The Velvet Underground then formed the band. He makes you want to try to play the music. In this era of everyone speaking all the time, Quentin is a true artist and he's a true auteur. He speaks through his films every 3, 4, 5 years, and you better goddamn listen when he talks or you'll miss out on something extraordinary. A Tarantino film is like a spectacular comet that we are lucky enough to see every few years. And when there is a cosmic event, like a comet or a meteor shower, you leave your house and you gather with strangers in the dark and you look up. And when there is a Quentin Tarantino movie, you leave your house and you gather with strangers in the dark and you look up. It's an honor to honor him. And now, let's take a look at just a sampling of his masterpieces.
I can't stop crying because of what Greta Gerwig said about me. She literally talks about me the way I can only imagine somebody could ever